to you. I didn't hear it. Panel didn't hear it. Viewers didn't hear it. But I believe you, Ben, because I trust you.
It's good versus TA, and I think they need another damage dealer other than the Tusk. You never want Tusk to be your only thing because you can get countered by BKBs, you can just force staff him, you can lock him down with the Winter Wyvern, but Ember Spirits, it's also a TA counter, although he doesn't have that much armor. They also don't have any lockdown on the side of EG aside from the Winter's Curse, and he's also good against TA because of the Flame Guard and because of how hard he is to kill. So I think that it's nice. I mean, VP has to be in really high hopes because
the battle begins.
They must have thought they were going to lose that game. Not that you give up, but you're in that mentality, oh, well, we had to pull something out of our hat to win this one, and they did.
As much as EG, maybe they're tilting, or at least not in the best of moods.
Please.
VP, they've got that surge of energy. Gotta not totally lose focus here in game number 2.
EG's used to losing recently. They're not on tilt.
They actually, I looked up they have not played very many games, and they've mostly played at live events against top teams. They had a 40% win rate coming into this tournament. Can you believe it after TI5? But, well, maybe not playing enough online matches does have its drawbacks here. So we get underway then. Game number 2, lanes have taken shape. It's Ember versus TA mid. G will be taking over the Ember Spirit here.
So EG is aggroing. That is definitely the most surprising thing to me about this early game. And they just want to crush this Huskar. Undying is actually really strong versus Huskar in the early game because he does not have his armlet yet, and Decay will just destroy him from 100 HP, and Berserker's Blood is not going to save you from that.
And obviously at the early levels, Huskar very squishy, and the Burning Spear is not all that threatening, but
they might dive him right now.
They're committing for it.
Fear is
Undy moving in, spamming out the Decay. FNG has to be careful not to get caught here, and after a lot of time spent mid, Lil is going to be forced to rotate back, but they are keeping this Huskar out of experience rage as Creep starts to die at the tower. He turns on Fear, lets out a little rage, but still, it seems like the tri-lane in these very early moments is doing a decent job, though. The Tusk is coming. He will be scouted out. Lil not able to get the jump on EG. So that leaves us with 2 1v1s then. A Darkseer safe lane versus Shaker. Obviously going to be easy for the Darkseer. And then just that mid lane matchup where it's pretty even so far.
Yeah, TA should win now if there's no interruption, but FNG.
And now a pause from FNG. We'll have a moment here to review as Phobos will disconnect. Dota 2 crashed. So what do you think about the lanes? They'd go aggressive tri-late, something that the analysts thought that, and you had thought even that maybe would happen in game number 1. It didn't for VP. Do you like the aggressive tri-late choice here? Is this something that you think is a good call?
I think it really brings the Undying to use. I think if you safe lane try, you play greedy, Huskar gets his armlet, and then Undying definitely falls off. So you want to fight before the armlet comes out, which I think is the Decay will just own him, and he has to find some place to farm. Maybe he can do stacks later, but Huskar's not that great at taking out stacks. He can do okay versus the Darkseer on bottom, so he doesn't really have a home in the early game.
All right, we're back into it, guys. Just a quick moment here. We do resume now, so we are seeing Universe getting basically free farm bottom, as you would expect, but the good news is his camp was blocked off, so he won't be able to do that, push the lane, then also go farm the jungle quite as easily.
Yeah, so with the aggressive try, you don't have to worry about ganks coming out on your TA, because it'll be super obvious when the supports are missing, and on top of that, Darkseer is a guaranteed win versus the Earthshaker on bottom.
And that is one of the big strengths of VP is if they choose to roam with the Tusk or the Earthshaker, just how much damage they can do in terms of setting up early kills, but we do see, finally, your Huskar gets his level 2 out. Arteezy closing on that level 2 rocket barrage. But still not very durable at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he has Grave. He can definitely take people down if
they commit the tombstone. This is a fairly big deal. Minute cooldown on that. FNG wants to smack it. He wants that gold. It's sweet. It's delicious. But they're going to punish him now, and he will get it right to the rocket barrage. Forced to grave early. Has the heal available. This could turn poorly for EG if they're not careful. Now Arteezy starts to take the fire spears. They have the shards. They're going to cool down now, and they trap him out. They're looking to commit, but Illidan's not all that tanky. Neither is Lil. The rocket barrage keeping them at bay, and now coming in with the splinter blast. Can they finish Illidan? FNG's also low. Gets up the hill. Baiting and just fighting on the precipice, but neither team ends up forfeiting a kill.
Whew, that was close.
Tense. But EG, they're going full Russian Dota here. They're just diving past the tower once again.
Hit this tombstone with me, guys.
They wanted that sweet gold, man. That is nice to get early on. Very easy to kill the tombstone if it's off on its own.
But this is dangerous for EG. If they don't make a move before G's level 6, he will destroy this lane with a TP Remnant plus Flame Guard. Okay, then that fight is over. So, like, they're going to have to anticipate that, and either you get kills right now or you run it as a sack lane eventually, or you're going to give up 3 kills. And sacrificing a hero is much better than giving away 3 kills early.
Is there a hero in this game that like you feel like has the highest impact to rotate early? Is there someone that should be looking to gank early?
Definitely Ember.
Okay.
I would say Ember is the best, but alternatively you could actually have the Dark Seer, I think, move it around very early and
maybe give the safe lane to a support or something if they want.
No, just go for
gank.
a kill.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go for a kill on that lane, because they were already pretty close to getting killed without the tombstone. So if you have the help of like a Surge Ion Shell Gyrocopter that just like runs in their face, they can't really stop them. Like maybe an excellently placed Ice Shards coming out from Lil, but it's still going to be really difficult for them to actually convert that.
Speaking of Lil, he is currently burying the salve of Illidan, but he's not chosen to go top. He's hanging out mid, has not actually been scouted yet. But SumaiL, a little suspicious, because they do have that ward off in the trees, so they get the sense the Tusk might not be around, and he's playing it safe.
When did they place his Observer ward on top? That's a big deal.
Oh, that one's very fresh.
Yeah, that one's really important because like you want the supports to move around. It's like nighttime, so you can kind of use that threat.
Illidan in a little bit far here. He's going to need F.N.G's help. The grave is available. Placed at the ideal moment, but still they're going to chase Illidan out. Jukes it in the trees, tries to turn away. First blood going the way of EG, though it looks like Arteezy may pay. There's the snowball turnaround. So far, 1-for-1, but the heal bomb does good work, and Fear goes down the tower. 2-for-1. They're looking for a third. Triple Remnant over the top. PPD falls as well. 2 can play with the game of early dives and aggression, and it's VP who come out on top.
That heal bomb from FNG
that was
destroyed
sturdy.
Fear.
My goodness.
Well, that's the end of that tri lane.
So, if you give up the tri lane, what do you do now? Just leave Dark Seer off lane? Do they abandon entirely?
I think you can stack Undying at this point. You stack Undying and then you concentrate on getting maybe SumaiL's farm up.
They're not giving up then. They're sending 3 right back. They even TP'd to the tier 2 to smoke. And they're chasing, but they're the lane ward's gone now, so Illidan, he might get ambushed here. It is nighttime after all.
Can they actually like catch him?
This is not the ideal hero to be jumping on. Lil's also in position to maybe help him out. He's got a snowball ready. The TP's coming. Dazzle's about to get it. Oh, wasn't in range for the snowball. Close, Lil being able to save that one, but not quite. So FNG also late. So they commit a smoke very early, pretty risky, but they do end up getting the kill.
Lil is constantly out of mana. He only has mana to cast 1 spell.
So something we haven't talked about is that SumaiL is just having a field day mid. 43-9, and the Dark Seer, as you would expect, is also doing quite well bottom. So EG losing the tri lane maybe, but somewhat salvaging there, and they are doing really well in their solo.
That's only when Ember didn't have his TP out, because he had already TP to kill them the first time. So like they still have to play like very carefully up there, especially like they don't know that VP has vision over there.
Yeah, PPD gets down some vision of his own now, planting the ward up towards the top lane from the river. Looks like it wasn't scouted, so that'll potentially help them out. Kind of a sneaky way to place it. Let's see. We are seeing some ancient stacks as well for the Radiant. Of course, this is the power of TA. We've seen some teams really get away with this. Illidan gets punished a bit mid lane, but yeah, there's some pressure on the top lane from Illidan. Running in. He's only level 4, though. He's not really that tanky. The Grave comes out, but Fear is just beating the crap out of FNG. Illidan, nope, not going to make it home. The level 1 back prevents it. And FNG might well be next to K is there and just going to die for it. The old man wants this. There's the heal. Still chasing. And we're not seeing the Ember rotation. Unfortunately, he already used his TP. So not able to get involved there. EG bouncing right back and game number 2. And now they move on SumaiL mid lane. Do they have detection? Nope. But they're burning him slowly.
That is going to take forever.
And SumaiL's like, you know what? This is my lane. See that CS score? Yeah, I'm on top.
It's actually a problem that he's this far.
And they're not contesting the Ancients. Seeing that other when TA was really popular like a month ago, teams were a lot more diligent about blocking those, but they haven't had a chance to.
Is he going to try and contest the top rune? No. And TA has a haste.
If you jump there and the TA gets the rune, and it's a good rune.
It's okay, you got chains.
Yeah. I don't know. That would be risky, but G doesn't want to play risky for now.
I feel like the Tusk hasn't really been too involved yet, but looking to change that now. Smoke into the opposing jungle. Arteezy trying to head way far back, but he's still going to get cut off.
Lil going deep for this one. He gets up the charge. The Rocket Barrage immediately comes out. He has a snowball already, but there's just no backup.
Phobos did not hook up with Lil. That was you can't smoke in this split up like that.
All right,
Lil had caught him out.
9 heroes bottom. Let's go, baby. Level 5 now on your Huskar, and the Ember jumps in off the goes for the change. Just gonna miss on Fear. Not an ideal way to start the fight, but they get rid of the tombstone, so something good for VP here. As SumaiL just smashes his way right through Illidan's health. Continues to throw out the flaming spears here, almost dying to the creeps. In fact, SumaiL rolling in, but the snowballs here to try and turn it. The fire spears, removing most of the refraction charges. Not enough. SumaiL starts decapitating VP. About to get a third now, jumping forward. The fourth could fall. F.N.G. down. Goes splat. 4 heroes dead. That was a god-awful fight, and they didn't even have the whole EG team when it started.
VP not as crisp in their execution with the failed smoke gank on Gyrocopter. Huskar dying way too many times in the top lane, and looks like the aggro try from EG has panned out. And on top of that, G tried to stop it, but he didn't really get that many kills, and TA is mega farmed.
Like, sure, they give up the 3 kills. It looks really bad, but look at Illidan. At this point in the game, you usually see an armlet up on the Huskar. He's got nothing. He's got Blades of Attack. He's not even level 6, let alone when you get to the max passive, which is where Huskar actually gets scary. He's not even close, Ben.
He has a stick.
Jesus. Well, I appreciate your optimism. I'm not sure that Illidan shares it right now. So after the dust settles, it is a massive EG lead. That one big fight bottom boosts it from about 1,000, 1,500 gold all the way up to 5k. Experience also shooting up. Things are looking peachy keen in the boys in blue land.
I mean, at this point, the Huskar Dazzle combo was just completely ineffective because Illidan gets bursted down really, really easily, which forces out an early grave, and then these 2 heroes don't have really that much to offer after that. Without an armlet, you cannot stay in the fight. So maybe you have to wait for Huskar's armlet, but you don't really want to give EG like 6 or 7 minutes to do whatever they want. So Ember Spirit, it's up to you. Get some kills.
Yeah, it's just not a hero that normally like, okay, let's trade farm, and certainly not against EG's lineup. We saw what VP did with the last time. They're going to find a jump here on the bottom lane. PPD caught up by Fissure, and down he goes, but only as support at the same time, and already PPD does have his level 6. They're trying to get some levels here on FNG in the mid lane. Universe closing in rapidly on that mech. Just needs the 700 gold for the mech recipe. Also has Arcanes and the Soul Ring. That is an enormous Darkseer compared to last game.
It's going to be really hard for them to deal with the mech. They're really lacking on damage right now without Huskar being able to contribute. And with the mech, I don't really foresee them winning a team fight.
Big jump in. They commit the Echo Slam here, and they will beat down
nice damage.
Universe. Great usage of the Echo. At the same time, EG rotated in 3. So you see G split pushing. He's saving up some gold here. Curious if he wants to try and sneak in those Boots of Travel.
They're doing a good job of letting the Huskar farm up, though. All the action has been like centered around the Huskar in the first 10 minutes of the game, and he's like, guys, I need my armlet or I can't do anything. And on top of that, he has to deal with the Winter's Curse, so I'm not sure if he can do stuff with the armlet. But
he needs his level 9, and even then, you still have the TA to worry about. Speaking of that TA, SumaiL has just been unimpeded in his farm. Got the Blade Dagger, he did not rush the Deso, but now up to another 1,100 gold. Very fast clip here for the solo mid. And around this time, it's VP's turn to smoke. 3 trot towards bottom. They do have the lane ward. EG hanging back. TP cooling down on Arteezy mid lane. PPD also doesn't have one. That's 2 heroes that can't join this lane. Darkseer probably doesn't want to. And it's Fear running this time. We saw a similar movement when it was the Gyro earlier. Fear caught out. Heal bombs there. And uppercutted into the atmosphere. They'll get the kill, but again, just to support. VP investing a lot of resources for these support kills.
Is under attack.
Still no armlet.
EG seems like they would decimate them in a team fight, though, with the Winter's Curse and the Tombstone and the Gyrocopter ultimate. So VP are trying their best to avoid this opportunity.
And Universe is already level 10. I think last game, the Darkseer was like level 6 at this point. So that team fight is almost fully online.
Yeah, he's He's much scarier last game, but he had a much easier matchup.
As you would expect, and EG now bringing 4 in mid. They are going to smoke, not scouted whatsoever. Trying to draw the lines here. Looks like they want to go for the old wraparound. They're going to reveal PPD mid with the Splinter Blast. Maybe trying to tempt them forward. Arteezy, the first man to breach that high ground. Fear moving in. Level 3 Tombstone ready. Sigil is going to scout. Wow, this one out. And once again, VP, I mean, you've said it at least 4 or 5 times, Ben. They are just so ready for these games.
The smoke detectors, man.
They should look into a sponsorship for that, honestly. Whew. Impressive. But, I mean, even without the kills, they're still struggling a bit here at the farm department. How do VP break this game open? Huskar has been a total non-factor.
What they've been doing for the last 5 minutes, they take small kills around the map with like 1, 2, 3 heroes. They try and protect Huskar, but more importantly, you make EG run around. You don't let them group up as spy. You don't let them push towers. You kill people under their own towers so they're forced to TP, and they just waste like another 3 minutes of your time so that you can get your own farm on. But they've been doing a really good job of that for the last 5 minutes, and EG are so desperate to take a 5-on fight. They're so much stronger than VP, not only gold-wise, but lineup-wise.
Mid lane. Illidan. No, Armlet is on the way on the courier, but doesn't have it yet. Goes in for the dunk at Arteezy. Quickly dies. So much for Huskar countering Gyro when he's struggling this hard. And now all of a sudden, Lil dropping as well. The zombies chase forward. SumaiL gets in. Nice and deep onto DKPhobos. Turns back for F.N.G. He wants all the kills in the world. Graves tries to TP out. Is there any way to cancel it? No, we'll make it home. But still, in pursuit.
SumaiL has blink up.
Yeah, he was thinking about it. Decides it's not worth it. I'll just take your Ancients as well. The farm continues. I mean, it feels like G's the only one that can really get out on the map then.
Well, he has Armlet, so this is about time. It was like maybe 20 seconds too early, and also VP didn't expect the wraparound with the Tombstone. Once he drops the Tombstone in that position, you just have to run.
Let's see if they can make something happen with that Armlet. Phobos chucking out the fissure, only hits Arteezy. Tower will drop. The weave is deployed. Now they're going to move forward here onto Arteezy, jumping forward. There's the big dunk. Phobos with the huge initiation, but the cooldown. Oh god. Oh, this is going to be ugly for VP. It's 1, 2, 3. They might lose more. Illidan trying to hang on there with the grave, but will fall in the end. G a bit late to the party, a 2 for 3. But now SumaiL gets in and starts dishing out the damage. 4 down. G on the run, drops a remnant one way, runs the other. SumaiL, a bit of a short pop there, not quite able to locate him. G just heading the hell away. Courier will even fly by soon. For the Desolator coming very soon. Looks like G will be the lone survivor. It looked good at the start, Ben, but that was just a dirty call down.
They didn't actually get the snowball on the Tusk too. I think if he were snowballed in, he could like kill a guy and then life break a target in the back. There were so many low heroes in the back that got healed up by the mech, but just weren't able to be finished off. Also, DKPhobos so darn close to his blink dagger.
I mean, this is where SumaiL is just out of control. Look at this. Haster bottled up, has the blink, has the Deso, 800 gold as well. How do they control the TA when she's this big?
Kite, Fissure, all the melee stuns from Earthshaker, Snowball, Ice Shards, Grave. Like, they have a lot of tools at their disposal. They just have to make sure that they kill their supporting staff first.
But into the pit now. EG are scouted. VP very good with the map awareness, but how much does that matter? Can they actually contest this pit? Lil chucking out the shards, a warning shot here. Slowly moving in. That Echo Slam still on cooldown for about a minute though. They won't have it for the big rose fight. He's going for it, and oh my god, Lil, you are way too late to the party. Quickly destroyed. I suppose worth a shot, but does not pay off in the end as G just flounders about top lane, trying to split push, but it's an Ember. Not very quick at that tower decimation. And he's plainly getting objectives here, it seems. Can VP take any fights?
They have high upside in their fights with the Armlet toggle and Huskar. He wasn't able to pull it off last time. He was way too slow about using it after the grave. But with good Armlet toggles and good kiting on the TA, yes, they can take it.
Alright, well, SumaiL's about to test that as he TP's on the mid lane, looking for the jump forward. He gets pinged out, he does have remnants. No, they curse Illidan, and they are going to lock down the Huskar, but he's braved up, he gets up the dug, he's going to try to turn on SumaiL, quickly chunking down his HP, needs that Armlet toggle. Now the Embrace, still working on SumaiL. This is not the best use of the Aegis. Finally, though, goes get the kill. Makes it somewhat worth it. Phobos engages, Echo Slam's there. They bring down the Wyvern as well, but he's coming back for round 2, and the kid wants some blood, finishes off G. There's a double, looking for the triple. FNG TP out to 9 by the karate chop vacuum combo of Universe. So they end up grabbing 3 for 1 there. Aegis also expended. But now EG looks like they may transition onto the push mid or maybe into another kill. SumaiL already up to 3k gold.
SumaiL too much damage. Huskar cannot compete without any armor.
They didn't get like that perfect, you know, combo from the Tusk Earthshaker that fight either.
Yeah, one-man Echo. It just took way too long to kill because of the cold embrace from Winter Wyvern. He's been proving to be a thorn in both of these teams' side.
Things looking very good here for EG in game number 2, and they need them to be good, else they get knocked down to the lower bracket, and as well as could affect the mentality, the way they lost the game 1, and potentially should they drop this game, but they have recovered from the tri-lane, struggling a bit early on, and they've shown that these solo lanes really paid off. 6-0 and 5 on SumaiL, Universe 4-1 and 4, items piling in. What's next on the agenda for EG?
Roll VP with their Blink Daggers. Blink Dagger on TA, Blink Dagger on Dark Seer, along with a Winter Wyvern to back up any signs of being out of position, and that's a recipe for a clean victory in a team fight. They might not want to do that without the Aegis or a BKB on the Templar Assassin, but once either of those 2 items are up, I think it's a go sign. Just keep Illidan under farm. Alternatively, you can just wait out until late game, but EG...
Well, there's the BKB. Okay, I feel like I'm watching an Alchemist game. Like, look at his net worth right now. He's getting up there. EG will smoke. Arteezy, the man being shown right now. They're going to move, but at the same moment, VP also swinging around, and those trees that were used to break the smoke last time are not occupied, though EG were thinking they were. They pinged them out. Let's see which way they want to go.
They don't have Echo, so that means really no instant lockdown for TA. So she should be able to pop her BKB and then turn around the fight. But they don't know where VP is. They have no idea.
Wrapping around from behind, but PPD up there on the high ground in a pretty good position to get away. Should they jump him right next to the tree line? Smokes are now worn off, and VP looking to make their move in. PPD tries to flap his way through the trees. G quickly dropping low. There's the curse, locking him down, not finishing him off the fissure. He jumps back. G puts on his Nikes and jukes away, but that also leaves his team in harm's way. Lil, the man to suffer for it. He'll go down first. Call down was committed. BKB also expended. They only lose a Tusk. Still EG getting the kills, and VP very much playing defense. Now it's time to jam. Illidan jumping forward onto Peter, and now the Echo. It's on 2. They need SumaiL here. They need him now, but Illidan's kept alive. Gets off the grave. Might even be able to turn. There's no BKB on SumaiL. The kid's gonna go down, and Illidan stays alive. Fear finally finishes him off, but another discombobulated fight for EG as they drop 4 for 3. Even with that fresh, shiny BKB, somehow, someway, VP pull another magical fight out of the hat, and look at the gold change. Whew, what a comeback.
Firstly, good fissure by Earthshaker. He stopped the Winter's Curse plus Blink TA combo, which they kind of used to eliminate the Ember Spirit. Actually, first it was a good smoke pop by Winter Wyvern. He drops in his overward, he hides in the fog, he sees him coming, flies over the trees, and then they isolate the Ember Spirit. That was huge. Then the fissure came out, they almost got the Ember Spirit, but then he TPs back home, drops a Remnant, and then he comes back to the fight. And they buy time for him to come back to the fight. And of course, good Shallow Grave coming out to save the Huskar. And yeah, if you don't pick a hero off with a Winter's Curse, that's like your main tool. And on top of that, VP, they were pretty smart. They took the fight to the left side instead of the right side. The right side, they have to fight up the hill. They're also in a choke, and they also don't have vision, and they don't have a sentry ward. So they know that EG does not have vision on the left side, which means that the vacuum wall can't come out.
And they were pretty spread out that fight as well. You never saw like 4 or 5 heroes all in the same general area where they could get hit by the combo.
The combo.
Yeah, it is a combo. We haven't quite seen it as of late, but just like last game, if you see that vacuum in the curse and the tombstone getting dropped, maybe a little splash damage from the Templar Assassin of SumaiL, everybody is going to die. So VP can't get over eager, still trailing by quite a bit. And this time EG, not trying to be fancy or clever, they're just going to march down mid as a squad. Thinking about a push, but also a bit hesitant in their movements.
DKPhobos has been having some excellent echoes though. And now EG, I mean, they have to be scared. No, they should not be pushing this. This is like way too dangerous of a fight for them because like they're waiting for Echo to cool down. It just cooled down from Phobos. And if they group up, then they're going to get owned. If they isolate SumaiL, they can just figure him out.
No, Universe, he had a blink, but he does get out, drops the vacuum. They all quickly retreat, and then the echo from Phobos. It's a 2, but there's no follow-up as of yet. There's no falling into the call now. This could get ugly real quick for VP.Illidan against the world. Can't get it done. Ends up dropping. This time it's 3 down for VP. Quickly evaporating, and now EG rushing forward. The Huskar gets 1 kill to the burn damage on Arteezy. But small consolation. Wasn't even the best combo from EG, but it was good enough.
Yep, they only got caught, 2 heroes caught out by the Earthshaker. It looked like he didn't even do any damage with that with the Echo. Well, fantastic positioning coming out from EG, making sure that VP does not cleave him down.
Oh, EG back in the driver's seat now. They take the tower, they get aggressive wards down, and more big important items are coming for the team. The BKB nearly complete now on Arteezy. We're going to see a little bit of gold on the Wyvern as well. Maybe PPD can actually buy an item this game.
Well, it looks like as long as they get the Winter's Curse plus Vacuum Wall out and a mech off, then they should be okay. And this is not too difficult to pull off for EG.
And if you can't fight them, then I guess you do have a plan B here, which is maybe to just try and rat it out a bit with the Ember Spirit.
But then you have a Huskar who can't really teamfight versus this amount of physical burst, and he can't good burst.
G is trying to pressure that bottom lane, forces out some spells from EG, but that is all. As SumaiL moves back to the Ancients, now a Crystal is up. He resumes his farming patterns. Not quite as far ahead as he once was, but he still is the leader by a significant margin in net worth.
So they need to find a way to keep this Huskar's net worth rolling up. He is number 6 right now. He is eclipsed by the Earthshaker in terms of farm.
Never mind, Universe blinking out.
So that means they need to give him an Aegis. He needs to survive to the end of the fight and just keep throwing spears all throughout. But with the trap already in the Roshan pit,
oh, they get the curse off on G, and my God, he's an easy kill when that happens. Quick takedown for SumaiL, and more importantly, the Ancients also going to go his way. That is a hefty chunk of change.
Yeah, I really didn't think
for the young
SumaiL was going to be this farm. He is over double the Huskar's net worth.
I really feel like the tri-lane is why, because he wasn't ever ganked or pressured mid, and like you said, it would always be obvious if he was. That one time when Tusk came mid, they pretty much knew. They played safe. They never contested the Ancients. They didn't ward them. They didn't try to gank them. It was basically just a pure 1v1, and that's where SumaiL really shines.
Well, I thought they were gonna...
Jumping in and making the move on Illidan. The back's there, the wall follow-up, get up the grave, and now they try to turn, but Illidan ever so low, ticking down. Does match the tuggle, the armlet back on, just goes pop anyway. 3 down, might be more. SumaiL now engaging with the BKB. Nice blink disjoint from Phobos, but can they actually kill him on the way out? Get the uppercut off, the shards are there. Heroes are respawning soon. EG back to focus on objectives. Tombstone dropped. They are feeling very close to a Game 2 victory.
I thought that Ember was going to be able to help out the safe lane a lot more, but he didn't keep the TA down, and he didn't win the tri-lane for them.
He had the 1 rotation, but then it kind of fell off from there. They'll make that one last stand. Lil rolling in, and now likely walking home to the fountain. No, they're going to let him go. They focus on objectives here. EG, they don't really care too much about these additional kills. They'll turn back, working, chipping away on the melee racks, trying to bring it down, but now VP have the whole squad back. Phobos jumping forward, getting up the fissure on Arteezy. There's the shards, trapping him in, gets up the call down. Only going to connect on Illidan. F.N.G. walking right back into it. They really want to engage and make something out of this hold. Chains from G. Looks like they're not. Oh, they are going to be able to knock down PPD up on the hill. There, the Wyvern will die.
I think you have to YOLO road right now if you're a VP. Like, you're so far in the hole right now that that's the only sort of risk that will even be close to bringing you back in the game. You have to do it while Winter Wyvern is down, so they don't have that combo available to them. But
do you think you give it to the Huskar here if you get it?
I think so.
Okay.
Because you have to rely on like a grave, I suppose, to save the Ember Spirit during the Winter's Curse in the later game. But this is such a difficult fight to take. This is the last breath.
They're moving into the pit now. VP beginning to work on the Roche, but EG a freshly grabbed Solar Crest now for
they don't have a Sentry Ward deep in the pit, so they have full vision with the Psionic Trap. The EG just biding their time, knowing exactly when Roshan's gonna fall.
They don't have a Wyvern anywhere in sight, though. Do they want to take this one without him? They're thinking about it. SumaiL moves towards the fissure, traps him away for the rest of his team as they dunk, though. He gets up the BKB, and now the call down. Illidan gets back second together with Lil, and then Roshan says, I want a piece of this action. Stomps down 2 angry feet, and will result in 3 VP heroes down for the count. It looked like a good start. It was an ugly finish for VP. And now EG, they grab the Aegis. Oh, it's YOLO, and this time they only live one spin.
You had to try for
pretty
it.
screwed.
You have to try for it. It's really obvious, but you hope that, I don't know, Seer whiffs his vacuum wall, even though Universe rarely does, or, you know, their blinks get canceled, or, you know, they all get cleaved down by Ember Spirit.
They
like,
forget Roshan's in the game, maybe.
Yeah, or like he doesn't have a trap in there. These are...
Yeah, it's
that's
low
pretty much their
percentage,
only
but
chance.
the other play is 0%, basically, so I'm with you there. Well, on this note, looks like EG gonna take the bottom lane of Rax, probably game 2 as well. Where do you ultimately put this one down? Is it execution for you? Is it draft? Like, what went wrong here for VP?
I think mostly it was just actually EG playing well. Like, TA controlling mid so well, like out-farming the Ember Spirit, pressuring the tower when he's not there, and of course their decision to aggro try, I think, was ultimately what won them the game.
Big blink back now, the call down coming through. Illidan thinking about turning around, taking a fight, and then the echo, but Phobos gets BKB dodged by 2 carries, then the curse follow-up, moving forward, onwards and upwards here for the boys in blue as they're gonna smack the crap out of VP, and they will walk away with a win. Now, a 1-1 tie heading into game number 3.
Also, the offlane Earthshaker is extremely weak. He cannot pressure a Seer at all. Seer will manhandle or cow handle the Earthshaker. There is no way he can win that lane. So you're just setting up like at least one of your lanes for failure. The Radiant mid lane is also you know, leaning much more towards the TA. So all 3 of their lanes were a little weak and it required excellent play.
Well, you look at the way the game ended up, they did not tilt in